What is up, team? Bob's here, back with another episode of Retro Hunting on the Kingdom of Retro Gaming. And what have we got again? Kablamo, the Retro Wheel. So, in our first episode of the Retro Wheel, landed on Xbox. We went out there and we got 20 Xbox games. So 10 original Xbox, 10 Xbox 360 games, plus Seen It Lights Camera Action for the Xbox 360. For a total of only $280. So, we're going to spin the wheel again, and let's go hunting. Let's do this. Let's spin the wheel and see what we get. Nintendo! Boom! Okay, there we go. So, that means we can get anything from the Famicom, Super Famicom. So, that's NES and SNES, N64, GameCube, any controllers or peripherals, games, anything Nintendo. That's also handhelds. So we'll be looking for some Game Boys, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket. Yeah, let's check out our Nintendo collection and then get hunting. Okay, boom. Here is most of my Nintendo collection. Now, this doesn't include any Wii games or GameCube games, just because I don't have space to get them out. But as you can see, Nintendo is what I collect the most, basically. So, starting at the back, in-box, original Japanese Famicom, complete in-box. The black GameCube, also complete in-box. And then we have the Super Famicom and the SNES. This is also modded, so it can play both Famicom and Super Famicom games. Super Famicom and SNES games that can play. Then we obviously have the N64. There's one in there. That's the Asian one, which has, boom, full expansion pack. And there's actually another one in there, which is a European one. So it plays different games. Then we have the in-box Donkey Konga for the GameCube. And we have the Wii, which is also GameCube compatible. Then we have some of the handhelds that I've picked up over my hunting travels. 2 Game Boy Advance back there. 2 Game Boy Advance, a NDS, and a Game Boy Advance SP. And then we go down to our games. First of all, Super Game Boy still has a game in. In fact, I wonder what color the bottom of that game is. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't look actually that bad, but from that side it does. You can see the line. That's been in there for 20 years at least. Inside there. That's a really good baseball game, actually. And then we have some of my old school games. Power Rangers, Bomberman, still in the wrapper, Donkey Kong, Dragon Ball Z, Turtles in Time, WrestleMania, Star Fox, Mario Kart, Super Scope, and Mario Paint. Now, these are 2 games which I know come with peripherals that I have seen on Carousel in my travels, but I didn't pick up at the time, and now they never show up. This I saw in box with the mouse, which I really, really want. And obviously the Super Scope, the bazooka gun, really want to get one of those. Now, obviously, you see I have some Famicom and some SNES games, because I have the 2 different consoles. Obviously, you have to have Super Mario World on both. Got Yoshi's Island there as well. Mario Kart, a must-have on both Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. And again, both versions, Asian version and UK version, which goes on that N64. But I'm also a sucker for some sports games. So we got In the Zone, we got Micro Machines, Formula 1, Wave Race, FIFA 98, one of the best football games ever made, All-Star Baseball, Madden 2002. And then some classics like Diddy Kong Racing, GoldenEye, Beetle Adventure Racing, Worms Armageddon, and then a bunch of the manuals. So we got Worms Armageddon, Beetle Adventure Racing. Basically all of these games. We have the booklets, the instruction manuals too, which is pretty awesome. And then a bunch of gaming guides. South Park, WCW, NWO Revenge, amazing game. Mario 64, a bunch of these mini double game guides, which is pretty cool. If you see, they've got just like walkthroughs of the levels and what you need to do in each level, which is pretty epic. And then in this bag, I've gone through this before. I think it's 25 complete in-box N64 games. All the boxes are in very good nick. They're all the Japanese versions, except for Mario Golf, which is the PAL version. And then I've got a bunch of Game Boy Advance games that I've done. A couple of DS games, a few Game Boy original games. But they just don't fit on the table, basically. And then over here I have a couple of random games. Rockman, 007 Japanese version, but it's a double. So, what I'm looking for is either some peripherals. So, Mario Paint Mouse, the Super Scope gun. Some more Game Boys. We've got the original Game Boy I don't have. The Game Boy Color I don't have. Game Boy Light and Game Boy Pocket. So there are 4 different types of Game Boy that I don't yet have. I've also want to find the Bomberman multi-tap. So you can turn that into 4-player. It even looks like Bomberman's head, which is super cool. Want to get one of those. And then basically, yeah, anything else we can cool. Maybe some cool cases. I know they have Game Boy cases. Maybe some cool Wii stuff, some peripherals for the Wii. But basically what we want to try and do is get as much as we can, but as small as we can. So the Super Scope might be a bit of a problem. But the Mario Paint Mouse, easy, nice and small. But here is my Nintendo collection. And now let's go find some stuff to add to it. Alrighty, so we're here on Carousel. And just a few of the things I've already liked. This is something I'm super interested in. The Bomberman multi-tap. 80 bucks, super cheap. Turns the Famicom from 2-player to 4-player. I have got a couple of Bomberman games. And that could be a fun little addition. Also, this power stick I've never seen before. The Magic Power joystick. Look at that. It's a full-on, the box is a bit tattered, but I mean, it's, what, 30 years old? That's pretty cool. And that's only $100 as well. The good thing about Nintendo is a lot of the older stuff is quite cheap. See, look, Game Boy Color there, $330. Another one there, $400. Although that one doesn't look like it's in great shape. Even that GameCube Game Boy player. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So there's some cool stuff for Nintendo. Let's scroll down. What else have we got? Wii U. Oh, the Tommy Water games. Remember these? Damn. That's going for $600. That's crazy. Man, I used to have loads of those as a kid. Wish I'd known they were going to be going for that much money. Game Boy Color, $480. Game Boy, $360. That's pretty cheap. Is it in decent condition? It looks pretty good, but why doesn't it say Nintendo? Why has it got the black block out? Usually that's just, you need to blow the game or the cartridge. But, yeah, not happy about that. $480 for a Game Boy Color. See, if I'm going to get a Game Boy, I want it to be like $200-300 so that I can have some leftover money to go buy some other stuff. GameCube Mario Kart, $220. Is that sealed? No, it says used. That looks sealed. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting, that. What else are we looking for? Some Dreamcast stuff. Another Game Boy for $400. Alrighty, well, let's Virtual Boy. That's also Nintendo, isn't it? Oh my god, we're gonna have to look for some Virtual Boy stuff. Okay, we've got some Virtual Boy. Now, $5,500 for a Virtual Boy. We're looking for games. Galactic Pinball, $150. I really want Wario Land. What's that? Red Alarm, complete in box, $260. I want Wario Land and maybe Bomberman or something. Oh, there's Bomberman. How much? $100. Oh baby.
My Hudson.
これははあそれじゃこれは不
いてる浮いてる。うわー、飛び出しちゃった。バーチャルボーイ、飛び出せパニボン。やっぱり買わなきゃ。ハドソンか？
That's one we're gonna send him a message. Definitely sending him a message. What else we got going on? Telly Roboxer. Complete inbox 240 though, that's quite expensive for one game. Oh wow, that's it. 3,900. Okay, so we're gonna hit up the guy for sure about Bomberman. And then maybe we'll jump on Facebook Marketplace and see what other stuff we got going on. Oh, as I'm scrolling through on Facebook Marketplace, I've just found a pretty tidy looking Game Boy Color for 250 Hong Kong dollars. It says it's on hold, but I'm going to hit this guy up. He originally was asking for 280. So I'm going to hit him up and see what the deal is, but that looks absolutely amazing. All the other ones I'm seeing are like 350, 400 and up. So if we can get this bad boy for 250 or 280, that would be an absolute bargain. Alrighty team, it is time to go pick up that Game Boy Color, 250 bucks. Our first pickup of the Nintendo retro wheel spin. That leaves us with another 250 to spend on Nintendo stuff. Now, whether I get some Game Boy Color games or, I don't know, maybe another Game Boy if I can get one that cheap. But remember, we keep a max of 500 bucks per spin. Let's go get us a Game Boy. Boom. Here we go again. Let's go get me a Game Boy Color. Whoa. This guy's tiny. The guy's already here also. Let's go find him. Is he that side or around here? Where's my boy? Is that him? Where is he? Oh, there's my boy. In the green. Oh yeah, baby. I got it. It has a protective screen on it, which is pretty sweet. But he put a game in it for me. Showed me it all working. It's got batteries. Powers on perfectly. Ding! Game Boy Color. 250 bucks. What a fucking bargain. Let's go. Alrighty, gang. So I'm going to pick up what I thought was going to be just one Virtual Boy game, Bomberman. But the guys told me I can have another one for 70 bucks. And at first I was like, do I really care? And then I figured out there's only actually 22 games made for the Virtual Boy in total. So I'm thinking, fuck it. Let's just try and go for a complete set of Virtual Boy games. 22 games, let's figure it out. Peace. Alright, baby. 2 more Virtual Boy games. Bomberman and a Japanese game called Virtual 3D Shooting Game. Didn't know about it, but got them now. Boom, that's 2 more, so we got 3 out of 22. Let's go! The complete set of Virtual Boy games. We're gonna do it. I'm on my way to pick up the multiplayer, 4-player Bomberman multi-tap. But it is fucking rush hour and the entire MTR. Actually, it's not so bad this side. This side. Oh, shit balls. But it's only in Yamate, so I've got like 10, not even 15 minutes on the MTR, and then off to boxing. But let's go get ourselves a Bomberman multi-tap. Boom. Alrighty team. Boom. Just got it. Picked it up. 80 bucks, which brings our whole total to exactly 500. 4-player. It's in super good nick. Hell yeah, let's get this home and check out everything we've got on this spin. Okay guys, I'm back home and it's time to look at everything we've got this week. Now, face is a little banged up, was boxing last night, but doesn't stop us game hunting. Let's check out what we got. Okay, so here we have this week's pickups. Came to exactly 500 bucks in the end, which is amazing. We've got our Game Boy Color, still with the protective screen. Turns on nicely, Haven't got a game in there yet, but can see the screen works very well. All very happy with that. The thing's in good nick. There's a bit of rust around the speaker, but I mean, what can you do? It's 20 years old. In very good shape. Very happy with that. $250 for the Game Boy. Then we move on to our two Virtual Boy games. Now, I realized when I was showing you my entire Nintendo collection, the Virtual Boy wasn't in there because it is back at Mark's house. Because we did do a small fix, and he ironed the glue, but there's a little flicker in the bottom right-hand corner, so he has that with him. But we've got, I originally went to pick up Bomberman for $100, and then the guy said, I have another game you can have for $70. And it's Japanese virtual 3D shooting game. But when we put it into the machine, we realized that it's actually Red Alarm.
T&E ソフトが送るバーチャルボーイの決定版レッドアラーム。
So that's a pretty cool game. So now we've got those two plus Mario Tennis. So I have 3 out of the 22 games that are made for the Virtual Boy. So I might do a whole other section, a whole other video series on trying to get the complete set for the Virtual Boy. And then, of course, we have our final pickup, the Bomberman Multi-Tap. Now, this I just think is super cool. Super clean. Turns the Famicom or the Super Nintendo into 4-player. So you can play Bomberman. Looks like Bomberman's head. Only $80. I just think that is one of the coolest things ever. So, our first week, or second week, sorry, on the Retro Wheel. Our first spin of Nintendo. And we've got exactly $500. Some really cool items. And some small things that won't take up too much space to keep the wife happy. So that's this week's episode of the Retro Wheel on the Kingdom of Retro Gaming. And I'll see you guys next week for more retro hunting. Peace.